So then I'll be quiet now since it's recording everything. Yeah, good luck with that. But I will mute myself and turn it over to Keith, immediate past District Governor Keith, and first place District Governor-elect Doug. Both of them are from the Brogue Community Lions Club. So I will turn it over to the gentleman, and I will be monitoring to let other people in. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Governor. And I'll let Doug kick things off.
Okay, it's great to have everybody this evening. So it's good for you to take time out to go through the new member orientation. So we're going to go through a number of things this evening, starting with your club, and then the district, the state, and then Lions International. So we'll give you a brief overview of the Lions Club organization. So if Keith, did you want to start it off with first one?
Sure, be glad to. As you can see there, the orientation is broken down into 4 sections: who Lions are, your club, district and multiple district, and also Lions Clubs International. As of this year, there is no such thing as Lions Clubs International anymore. They got rid of the word clubs, and it is just now Lions International, because someone decided that that's the way most people recognize us anyhow. So next screen. Who Lions are, that's what I'll start with. So who are Lions? You know, Lions are servants to those in need. They're like-minded men and women in your community or around the world, basically, because we are a global organization. We are not just in York County. We're not just in Pennsylvania. We're not just in the United States. We are a global organization. Lions are the largest humanitarian service organization in the world. We have 8 global causes. And before I go too far, if you want any of these slides, just contact us and we'll see that you get those. But we have 8 global causes that we deal with in Lions. We deal with a lot of things, but there are 8 global causes. Those are hunger, pediatric cancer, the environment, vision, youth, diabetes, humanitarian needs, and disaster relief. There's a saying that wherever there is a need, there is a lion. Currently, we're right around 1.4 million. We fluctuate 1.39 to 1.42 over the course of the year. And this year, our international president, her name is Patty Hill, has created a new initiative called Mission 1.5. And that Mission 1.5 is to develop a minimum of 1.5 million members around the world. The next slide, please. The Lions clubs have a vision statement, as you can see there, and that is to be the global leader in community and humanitarian service. I'm not going to read a lot of these slides to you, but there are some that are very important here that I think you should see. The mission statement is to empower volunteers, because Lions are volunteers. We don't get paid for our service. But to empower volunteers to serve their communities, meet humanitarian needs, encourage peace, and promote international understanding through Lions clubs. And you'll hear a little bit later about how we've been involved in encouraging peace and promoting international understanding. Our motto is, and you'll get you'll hear this wherever you go. You'll be starting to say this wherever you go. Our motto is reserve. Those are probably two of the most simple words that you can say, but that tells everything about Lions. I was fortunate enough 2 years ago to go on a disaster relief trip down to Mayfield, Kentucky. Mayfield had been decimated by a tornado, an F4, right on the verge of an F5, came through Mayfield at 9 o'clock at night, 14 days before Christmas. And the state of Pennsylvania, our multiple district, 14, sent two truckloads of supplies down, and 15 Lions from here in Pennsylvania went, and I was fortunate enough to be one of those. During that trip, we went into the town of Mayfield, or what was really left of Mayfield. There wasn't any much left of it but rubble. And we met with the current, at that time, council chair in the Mayfield area. His name was Kevin Bishop, and he was a judge that operated out of the Mayfield courthouse, which had been destroyed as well. He came onto our bus to introduce himself and to have us tell him a little bit about us. So we shared those, shared some stories with him. And he ended his talk with, I've been a Lion for many, many years, and I can't tell you how many times I've said those words, "we serve." And then he got very teary-eyed, and his voice started to crack and said, "But you have no idea what those words mean until you're the one being served." And it really was an emotional moment for all of us. All 15 of us, I think, were crying till he got finished. The slogan there, you can see there are two slogans. The official slogan that stands for Lions is liberty, intelligence, our nation's safety. But the one that most people use is loving individuals, offering needed services. That's the unofficial version. Because we're local, we can serve the unique needs of each of our communities. Because we're global, we can address the challenges that go on beyond our borders, beyond our community, beyond our state, beyond our nation. And because of our numbers, we can help and influence positive change around the globe. As you can read there, the purposes of Lions is to organize, charter, and supervise service clubs to be known as Lions clubs, to coordinate the activities and standardize the administration of Lions clubs, to create and foster a spirit of understanding among the peoples of the world, to promote the principles of good government and good citizenship, to take an active interest in the civic, cultural, social, and moral welfare of the community, to unite the clubs in the bounds of friendship, good fellowship, and mutual understanding. And that is an important statement right there, because part of being Lions is to have fun, to make friendships. In your club, you've probably already made some new friendships within the club itself. As you go on in your Lions journey, you will make friends all around the state of Pennsylvania. If you decide to move on to a district level position or a multiple district level position, you will literally make friendships around the world. In my district governor year, in my training for district governor, we had people from the Netherlands, we had people from India, Sri Lanka, Australia, and you'll get a chance to meet all of them in person. So there's another thing there that's pretty important to understand, and that's to provide a forum for the open discussion of all matters of public interest provided. However, no partisan politics or sectarian religion should be debated by club members. And the reason for that is, again, we're a global organization. So there are many different religions and many different forms of politics that are part of our Lions organization. So it's and we're not a political organization, and we're not technically a religious organization, although we do observe our religious functions. We are a service organization, and that's what we need to focus on, is our service. And as I had mentioned before, we're volunteers. So Lions clubs encourage service-minded people to serve their community without personal financial reward, and to encourage efficiency and promote high ethical standards in commerce, industry, profession, public works, and private endeavors. The Lions clubs, back when they were first formed in 1917, were really a business networking club. They go to the next slide, please, Doug. Oh, okay. We do have this code of ethics. In my district governor year, I talked a lot about cowboys and how much cowboys are similar to Lions. And the cowboys have a code of ethics called the Cowboy Code, or the Code of the West. And it's about 10 items long. And I would read those when I did my visitations to the clubs, and to ask them, what they thought about the Cowboy Code versus the Lions Code of Ethics. And they all said, well, they all say the same thing, but the Cowboy Code was much easier to understand. So I can't debate that at all. So, okay, we'll move on to First Vice District Governor-elect Doug.
Okay, well, you're going to be active in your own clubs. So that's a lot. So we have somebody from Broad Community Lions Club this evening. We have the Dillsburg Lions Club, and they were chartered in 1931. Littlestown Lions Club was chartered in 1939, and the New Freedom Lions Club was chartered in 1933. So you see a lot was going on in early in the 1930s. So it had a lot of clubs starting to start up in the area. And it's amazing, they're coming up on close to 100 years now, 90 to 100 years. So they've been supplying service to these their communities this long. And back in the day, like past District Governor Keith had stated, a lot of this was networking. So it was an honor to be asked to join the Lions Club. And I remember a club in Southern York County stated they once they hit 100 members, you went on a waiting list. So that's how popular it was being the Lions Club. And I wish we had that problem in today's world, that we were all at 100 members. But that was a choice local Lions Club had wanted to do, stop the membership at 100 members. So we're going to cover club officers and elections, meeting days and times, your service activities, fundraising activities, dues and budget, club traditions, awards, club communications, and membership benefits. So we'll start off with the club officers and elections. So each Lions Club in our district has a president, immediate past president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, membership chairperson, marketing communications chairperson, service chairperson, a line tamer, and you'll probably all get to know who your tail twister is after you've been in the club for a while, when they come around and want to collect a fine from you. and directors. So some clubs, and it's not unusual to have some of the same people serving in multiple roles in their club. And but it's nice to get a well-rounded group of individuals to be your club officers. And elections normally take place beginning right around March, April. They go in, and then these individuals that are elected from their club will take their new positions starting July 1st. The Lions year runs from July 1 to June 30th of every year. So club officers, elections, officers are elected annually. Club president appoints a nomination committee in January or February. The nomination committee selects candidates and presents nominees in March. And then the club votes in April. And as I just had said, the term begins July 1st. So why we do this, that the club votes in April, that gives the secretary of your club time to give the nominees to the multiple district at the state level, the district, and Lions International. So the clubs we have represented this evening, it's meeting dates and times. We have the Dillsburg Lions Club, and they meet on second Monday at 6:30 p.m. The Littlestown Lions Club meets twice a month, first and third Thursday at 7 p.m. And the New Freedom Lions Club meets also 2 times a month, first and third Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. So it's just let you know the clubs decide when, where, and how often to meet. So that's the local club's decision on what to do and how to do those. So service activities, normally each club has a list of service activities during the year. The activities are announced at club meetings, through their newsletter, and social media. There are different aspects to each service project where some may require a sign-up sheet and sometimes a time slot if it's a large service project. So this is what Lions do. As Past District Governor Keith said, we serve and we're volunteers. So we ask you to volunteer. It's a great way to get to know other Lions members in your club and members of your community. So I just can't emphasize that enough. That's where we really touch and the community sees us in action during these service activities. So to do some of the service activities, we need to raise funds. So we have some fundraising activities. So each club will have a fundraising activity throughout the year. It's important to know that every dollar raised at a fundraiser goes back to the local community or to help individuals in need. So that's one of the things that I'm very proud of to be a Lion, to know every dollar that we bring in goes back to help somebody. And that's so instrumental in today's world. So many of these organizations, you'll hear when you read the reports or something, 30 cents out of the dollar goes for their cause, but the rest goes to administrative. So that's why we pay dues for the administrative side. And there again, that allows us to take every dollar raised and put it back in our local community or to help individuals. And that always hit home with me. That was one of the reasons I really wanted to become a Lion.
Sorry?
Sometimes the Lions
Okay.
Club will do
I had my
joint
headphones on, so I
fundraising
could hear you talking.
with another Lions Club or other organizations to the community. So what that is, I know our club, Brogue Community Lions Club, is not a large club where I have 19 members. And sometimes something happened in the local community that we need to do a fairly large fundraiser to help somebody out or a family out, and we'll partner with another organization, and many times we'll partner with our neighboring Lions Club, Mason-Dixon Lions Club, to try to pull this together. We've also done this with maybe 2 or 3 Lions clubs if the fundraiser needs to be that large. But we never turn that away. Just because we're small, we look at other means to try to raise this money to help individuals out in our community. So dues and budget. International dues have increased this year and for $2, so they're $48 now a year. The multiple district dues, which we often hear referenced as your state dues, is $16. Our district dues is $2, and sometimes the club attaches some dues also to cover whether they have meals and do that type thing. So that's up to the club. They can put dues in there, or they can step away and not have meals. So that is ranges, but the dues that are to be collected, international's 48, multiple district 16, and district dues 2. So activities budget, money collected from the public. Like I talked before, money can only be spent to satisfy the community or public needs. So every dollar we bring in goes back out to the community or public need. The administrative budget, it's money collected from members, our dues, raffles, fines. We have 50/50s at the club meetings. That money is used to finance club operations. So that takes care of anything if we do have meals or postage or anything like that. So traditions. So tell us about one of your club traditions. So it's nice to know is that Service Project, New Freedom, I know has a big carnival, a parade. So a lot of things, traditions. That's one thing you want to get to know from your club, what their traditions are. And it's always good to make new traditions too. So that's one thing, don't be bashful and bring something new to the table. If you want to see something started you think will be an interest in your community. As past district governor Keith has stated, we are all volunteers. So while service is its own reward, special accomplishments and milestones should be recognized and celebrated. The awards below are awards that all lines can achieve. So membership keys, that's if you sponsor a new individual to come in as a member. And the more you sponsor, it goes up as membership keys. Chevrons, they're started at, I think, 10 years now. So for many years of service in Lions Club. And then they go on a 5-year increment beyond that. Member sponsor recognition, that's where you get into the membership keys as when you get multi-sponsored recognitions. Extension awards, that's when we're starting new clubs or branch clubs. We have Leo clubs that we can also do as extension award. PA Counselor Distinguished Service Award. So I think past district governor Keith is a recipient of that. So that's an honor to receive that award. The Lions of PA Foundation Fellowship. That's a fellowship award that is through the multiple district or the state association of Lions clubs. And the Melvin Jones Fellowship is a high honor that is received from Lions International. So club communications. So most clubs use one or more of the following means of communications. I mean, back when I started in Lions 30 years ago, we got a club newsletter, and that was it, or a telephone call. That's how you knew what was going on. So we have a lot more means to communicate now. So we still do the club newsletter, club websites. So that's what most people, I think, click on to see what's going on. Emails, well, I'm our club newsletter editor. So I send everything. I only send 2 out now by snail mail. Everything else goes out via email. So that helps out that way. Most clubs do have a Facebook page. We recently found, and a study was found, that people over 35, still about 80%, still rely on Facebook to get information. Instagram comes in second, and there's just other means, just word of mouth, that type of thing to communicate. But that's a very key issue, is communication. What's going on in your club, and whoever maintains that, and I can't emphasize this enough, your Facebook page or your club website, keep them current. They need to stay current. Who's ever doing them, you know, that's what people from the community look at. And if they see something that hasn't been touched in a couple of years, they don't think the Lions Club is active. So we like to keep our club website and our Facebook pages very active and let them know what we're doing in the community. The benefits of Lions Club membership are numerous, and they include: be part of the global community for good, support, tools and resources to enhance your service, leadership development opportunities, the satisfaction and joy of helping others in need. And I think that really hits home with me. I became a Lion. You really don't realize the needs in your local community. And the first year I went out and delivered their fruit baskets at Christmas time, but I didn't have to drive very far from my home to find out there's a lot of people in need. And most of the people I delivered to were in probably a 5-mile radius of where I live. And normally you just wouldn't realize these people were in need, but once I got knocked on the door, you saw the need was there, and that hit home with me. That you don't have to go far. You don't have to go global or statewide. There's opportunities right in your community to help individuals out.
Doug,
Network opportunities with local and international community leaders. I think that's still a big item. That was always a big item when Lions Clubs first formed, the networking opportunities. The friendship and fellowship with service-minded people. I enjoy that. I was fortunate to grow up in a family that have been Lions. I had 2 grandfathers that were Lions, my father, my uncle, and now my sister, my brother, and myself are Lions. So we're 3rd generation. And people we've known in the community and made new friendships through Lions. It's amazing who you get to know. And I always like that aspect of the Lions, that you get to know the service-minded people and respect and credibility of being a Lion. So I'll go into the district and multiple district portion now. So we covered the club. So right now, there are 750 districts with 35 or more clubs and at least 1,250 members in each district. So each district has an elected district governor. So District Governor Marty tonight, he's our district governor. So your club and you are a member of District 14C. So District 14C encompasses Adams, Cumberland, and York counties. So in our district, we have 8 zones, and there's 3 to 8 clubs per zone. And each zone has a zone chairperson. So basically the zone chairperson's job is to move things back and forth between the district governor and the clubs in their zone. So they're instrumental in making sure everything, as I touched base before, communicating back and forth between the clubs and the district. So right now we have 45 Lions clubs and 4 Leo clubs in District 14C. The District 14C is part of Pennsylvania Lions. So multiple districts are formed by 2 or more districts within a territory. Districts are further divided into regions, optimal, and zones. So our multiple district, MD 14, multiple district 14 is Pennsylvania lines. So in the state of Pennsylvania, we have 17 districts. The PA state office is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And we have one individual that's a paid state administrator. And her name is Deb Burkholder, and she does an excellent job. She also was a past district governor, and she had taken on this position, does an excellent job as a Pennsylvania state administrator. And it's governed by the Council of Governors. So district governors from the 17 districts. So each district has a district governor, and they're the ones that govern, and they're the Council of Governors. The council chairperson is an immediate past district governor from a district determined by the rotation. So the county council chairperson oversees any council meetings when the Council of Governors get together. So right now in our district, we have District Governor Marty Zimmerman. So you met him. He kicked us off this evening. We have First Vice District Governor Galen Burkholder. He's from the Shippensburg Lions Club. Myself from the Brogue Lions Club as the Second Vice District Governor. Our Cabinet Secretary is Patty Wurzbacher from New Freedom. And our Cabinet Treasurer is Phil Alfin from New Freedom. So individuals from New Freedom, you see, are well represented in the district. I talked earlier about our zone chairpersons, and that we have 8 zone chairpersons. So the zones are broken down into, used to be regions. So it was Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, and Region 4. And then the zones broke up. So the regions went away, but we still maintained the zones as they were shown earlier. And each zone has 3 to 8 Lions clubs in that. So that gives you the names of the chairpersons in District 14C. The District 14C also has a global action team. So our global action team is chairperson is also the district governor, which is Marty Zimmerman. The membership team coordinator is past district governor Lisa Griffey from New Oxford Club. And I'm actually the extension team coordinator. And our leadership of GLT is Vice District Governor Galen Burkholder from Shippensburg. And our service team coordinator is past District Governor Dennis Cope. And he's from Martinsville Lions Club. So every year we have a district convention, and they're held to develop fellowship among the Lions of the district. And we should conduct general district business. And we also elect the district governor and other district elected officials at the district convention. So we also like to look for informative seminars that we conduct during the convention. We normally do about 3 seminars at the convention. So the convention lasts for 1 day. And as you can see this year is at Wyndham Garden, York, as on April 20th. It won't go with the Saturday. And registration started at noon and the convention started at 1 o'clock. So we have a short cabinet meeting, necrology service, which is to honor any past Lions that have passed away in that year. And the guest speaker normally is a international or past international director of Lions International. There's a lot of times awards and recognitions, and we have the district election and some raffles. And a lot of times we have a social gathering following the convention, which is nice just to sit down and chit chat with other Lions and find out what they're doing and in their clubs. And this brings everybody together. We're all doing the same thing as a service organization. We're trying to service our communities, and it's nice to hear other ideas, what people are doing in other communities, and maybe they'll work in your community. The District 14C service initiatives, we collect and recycle used eyeglasses, hearing aids, and cell phones. Beacon Lodge 500 Club. So Beacon Lodge is a state organized for the blind. So it used to get other forms of financing from the state, and now it's 100%. The Lions Club is financially backing it. So it does, campers come in and they're blind and they do a multitude of things during their camping opportunity there. And the club has recently opened up to people that, for veterans. They have a veterans camp. And I think that's going to continue, and we're trying to get that to get bigger to the families of veterans. Do blood donations, have a peace poster contest, and you'll get to see some of these children's peace posters. And I had the opportunity to judge them this year, and it wasn't easy. I was amazed at these young children, young teenagers, how well the artistry is. And they have a theme, and they have to stick with that theme, and what they come up with, their young minds come up with, and how they can put that down paper just amazes me. Vision screening program. Our district is very, very into that. We have a number of cameras that go around the different places, and we do screening for children. Disaster relief. You heard past District Governor Keith talk about disaster relief. Back in 2012, we had some flooding here in our district. And within probably 48 hours, Lions Club International, LCIF, actually gave us, the district, money to go out and spend on individuals that were ravaged from the flooding. So you had to account for every penny that was spent, but you took these individuals in, and we went to Walmart, and they got food, clothing, whatever they needed to get them through. And a lot of times we're the first on the ground at a disaster before Red Cross or anybody is. So I was impressed at how quickly that came through in our own district. We have diabetes awareness, environmental awareness, which this year we just got done planting and a few hundred trees in the district. So that was a big thing. Hunger relief. So I know our club and many clubs that I'm aware of give to the local food banks to help out the local communities. District 14 service initiatives, the Lions of Pennsylvania Foundation, Pennsylvania Lions Beacon Lodge Camp. So the district a lot of times financially gives to that, as well as Lions clubs themselves and individuals. PA Lions Hearing Research Foundation, PA Lions Site Conservation and Eye Research Foundation, Leader Dog for the Blind, and that's also a big item that we push in the district. PA Lions Care for Kids, the Four Diamond Fund, that's out of Hershey. So that's a big fundraising that a lot of clubs support, as well as the district, and the Northeast PA Lions Service Foundation. These are all items that are sponsored by Lions clubs. And
Doug, while we're on these initiatives, I'd like to talk a little bit, just briefly, about the Leader Dog for the Blind. Since we just came out of our state convention, and we had one of the high-ranking administrative people from Leader Dog come to our state convention. And I was, for the last couple of years, we've been told that it takes around $50,000 to $55,000 to train, feed, and actually set up companionship with a Leader Dog couple. And then when I mean by couple, I mean the person that's going to get the dog and also the dog itself. she mentioned this year that it's probably closer to $75,000. Because leader dog, once you're picked as a candidate for a leader dog, all expenses are paid. Leader dog for the blind is in Michigan. They pay your way out and back. You're there for about 2 weeks that you can train with your dog. So they supply all the room and board the whole time you're there. A lot of the clubs in the district, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I don't know how many total, but there is a leader dog puppy sponsorship program that you can actually sponsor a puppy that is being fostered, being taught the things that it needs to do. That sponsorship runs $500, and they will send you you get to pick the puppy out of a group of about 6 or 8 that you want to sponsor, and then they send you pictures and a biography on the puppy and everything like that. So I just wanted to mention that about leader dog while we were there.
Yeah, it's interesting. You never would expect putting that dog with an individual would cost that much money, but that's what the cost is from the training up through. That really surprised me when I heard that for the first time, and now it also increased, just like the Past District Governor Keith just stated. So I'll give you some things. Are the website for the district and for PA Lines. You probably already received emails, and they come out via MailChimp. And when you signed up to become a Lion, your name and email address went into the district's and that's why we get from the email service MailChimp on what's going on in the district. Newsletters, link distributed at the beginning of each month via the district's email service, which is MailChimp. And if you ever want to go in and see previous editions, they're archived in the district website. So the Facebook page, and I'm not sure if that's up and running yet or not. So
no, I don't believe it is. I think Sam was having some issues with it. So I don't think it's back up and running.
So if you ever just want to go in, you can just Google Lions District 14C, and that'll take you to our website. So that's probably the easiest way to go, rather than just knowing the district email address. So the website address, I just go and Google it. So Keith, you want to take over for Lions Club International?
Sure. Next slide gives you a little quick history of Lions International. As you can see, in 1917, Melvin Jones founded Lions Clubs International. He was an insurance salesman from Chicago, and he had the idea of how to, that there were a lot of people in need, and he wanted to figure out how to be able to help those people. So he started to talk to his cohorts in business in the Chicago area to have them get involved, and that was the birth of Lions International. In 1920, Lions International becomes truly international with a Canadian club joining. Vision has always been a major part of Lions Club's initiatives. In 1925, Helen Keller challenged the Lions to become Knights of the Blind in support of all vision-related issues. And the Lions took that on as their, I believe, their very first initiative that as a full organization. 1945, LCI, and mentioned this earlier about how we are involved in promoting peace. Well, in 1945, Lions International helped draft the United Nations Charter. So that's something that a lot of Lions don't really know, but it's a very, very important part of our history. In 1957, the Leo Club program was created. Leos are school-based, basically school-based clubs, mostly high schools. There are what they call alpha clubs and omega clubs, which determines that's determined by age, the group, whether they're an alpha or an omega. 1968, Lions Clubs International Foundation is formed. The foundation is a separate entity from Lions International. It is the fundraising and grant producing arm of Lions International. They have created grants since that time, well over $2 billion that, again, are used around the world for anything imaginable. It could be digging wells someplace in Africa. It could be building vision screening facilities in India. But there's also a lot of LCIF money comes here to the United States and even here in our district. I just did a survey not long ago, and if I remember correctly, our district has received close to $250,000 in the past for different projects that we've done. Disaster relief, as Vice District Governor-elect Doug had said, we Lions are the first to have boots on the ground, but they're also usually the first to have money thrown into the pot in the area that the disaster has occurred. If there's a Lions Club in the area where the disaster is, Lions Clubs International Foundation will send to start with, they'll send them $100,000 just to get the ball rolling, and from that point on, they continue to supply funds as needed. In 1987, Lions Clubs International became the first service club organization to admit women, which that's a great thing. Women are hard workers. They're usually better fundraisers than us loser men. At least that's what I've seen in my journey as a Lion. The women are really go-getters. So I applaud International for being creative and doing that. 1990, Site First is launched. That was a major vision program worldwide that was launched by International. And today we are in over 200 countries and geographical areas around the world. So it truly is an international organization. Official name of the association is the International Association of Lions Clubs, or simply Lions International. Again, it used to be Lions Clubs International. You'll see the abbreviation LCI. That changed just this year. Came from I guess really it was voted on at the convention in Boston, I think, and where it was approved. The logo, as you can see there, consists of a large gold L in a blue field surrounded by a gold circle. On either side of that circle is the profile of a lion's head. The one on the left is looking back onto a very proud past, and the other one is looking optimistically to the future. That's the logo has actually changed in the last several years. It now is just the gold and blue. At one time, it had much more color to it. The lion's tongues were red, and so we're changing with the times, simplifying where we can. International officers, the international president, Patty Hill, who was just at our state convention 2 weekends ago. Very, very dynamic, amazing speaker. And that was my first time to meet her. And she was remarkable. She was just an awesome person. First Vice District, or there is we'll talk about the one at the bottom of that list, which is the immediate past international president, who's also the Lions Clubs International Foundation chairperson, Brian Sheehan. He was international president last year, and I was district governor last year, and he was my international president. Wow, what a what a guy. He was like the Energizer Bunny on steroids. I think he did a lot personally to make changes to the organization and how we look at things. Very, very, very dynamic. And Dr. Patty Hill just expounded upon that this year. He kind of did the shoveling of the snow and created the path, and she followed right behind him with bringing on the goods. Current first vice president is Fabricio Oliveira. He is from Brazil. Second vice president is AP Singh. He is from India. And third vice president, Mark Lyon, is from Connecticut in the U.S. here. And Mark was actually my trainer for my district governor training last year. Got to know him very well. There are 34 members, and again, this is global, to the International Board of Directors, and they are the governing body for the association. It's based on 7 constitutional areas and also based on the membership totals of those 7 constitutional areas. The USA and it's like the Virgin Islands and all that are constitutional area number 1. International constitution of bylaws govern the operations of the association and establish the rules by which the association functions. The international has bylaws and constitution. Our state, our multiple district 14, has constitution and bylaws. Our district has constitution and bylaws. All the bylaws are pretty much based on the international bylaws, but there can be some changes. There's a saying within Lions, your club, your way. So the districts and multiple districts are allowed some flexibility within the guidelines of the international constitution and bylaws, but they still they can't do anything really crazy, but they are allowed some flexibility. International convention. This is a big deal. This I want to say is probably 4 to 5 days long. The incoming district governors have to be there early for a couple days of training, and then it's just a big party time. Lots of seminars, lots of social events, lots of getting to see your international friends that you've made over the years. But again, just like in our convention, they have the election of the international officers. They have votes to change the constitution and bylaws as required, or any other policy that needs to be addressed would be voted on at the international convention by the 34 boards of directors. The international convention this year is in Melbourne, Australia. It's from June 21st to the 25th. And if you go to LCICon at lionsclub.org, you can see more about the convention itself. And there was some additional information in our last newsletter. 2025, which will be Vice District Governor-elect Doug's year to go in as district governor, is scheduled. That convention is scheduled to be in Mexico City. I know he's excited about that. 2026 was to be in Atlanta. Just this week, they announced that Atlanta is backing out of that convention because they are hosting a World Cup event, a World Cup soccer event. So LCI is currently working to fill that empty spot right now. Have no idea where that'll be, but since it was scheduled to be here in the U.S., I'm assuming that it will be in the U.S., but that's not necessarily the case. 2027, Washington, D.C., not too far away from us. We can be there in 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, and be a great one to, I think, to attend. In fact, right now they're looking for sponsorships. I think they're, if I remember correctly, $100 sponsorships to help offset expenses at the convention. 2028, Singapore, and 2029, New Delhi, India. I was actually scheduled to go to New Delhi in my district governor year, but they were just coming off of COVID, so that was canceled. And my district, my international convention went to Montreal. The international headquarters is located, again, this is international headquarters, is located in Oak Brook, Illinois, which is outside of Chicago. They approximately have 275 staff members in 11 different divisions. And you can see that the divisions there are the convention, district and club administration, finance, information technology, leadership development, legal, Lions Clubs International Foundation, marketing, membership, member operations and support, and service activities. And now I want to just kind of say, when it talks about leadership development, and there are a multitude of training classes available from Lions International. If you go to their site, you'll see the Lions Learning Center. You'll see the Lions University, all of which are free. There's some amazing training out there that helps you not just with your Lions journey, but you can use in your local business journey or your personal relationships. I encourage you to take advantage of some of that training. There's also training that is done, and that's all done on at your pace on your computer. There's also training that's done where on remote sites where you would go and possibly spend a weekend. There's one is called RLLI, which is Regional Lions Leadership Institute. That's coming up in Harrisburg. I believe it's next March, is it? And I know that Lion Carey McKnight from New Freedom, he's in charge of our training in the multiple district. And if you're interested in something like that, he would have an application for you immediately. Doug and I both kind of touched on this briefly earlier, and that is the service activities that we're involved in. And there again, you can see the list of 8 global causes that we are associated with. Years ago, it was just 5, but now they've added three more to that so that it more matches up with what the Lions Clubs International Foundation supports with their grant programs and their monies. Service activities. Again, we're talking about the foundation. It was founded in 1968. And again, to really support, next slide, Doug. There we go. Really support and empower us as Lions to, 1, be creative, and 2, to help us fund projects that we could not do as an individual club, or certainly not as individuals, and more than likely not as an individual club. Many of the grants are related around district level projects. Again, it says, we provide funding for large scale humanitarian projects. LCIF relies solely on donations. Every single penny that I or you or the club or the district donates to LCIF is returned in some form back to a cause, a project. Every single penny. There are no administrative fees taken out of the funds that come into LCIF. The administrative costs really are based on or come from the interest that's earned on the accounts. So if there's $100 million going in, there's $100 million coming out. And again, the interest on that account is what pays the administrative costs. There it says about more than 1 billion in grants awarded to date. Really, that's getting very, very close to 2 billion as of this past year. And last year we just came off the most ambitious fundraising. LCIF just came off the most ambitious fundraising campaign in its history. It was called Campaign 100, and they wanted to get at least $100 million. I think they turned out to be closer to $300 million till it was all said and done. This slide is slightly out of date, only because it says LCI's 5 global causes, where we are now, again, 8 global causes. At one time, LCI only had 5 causes, and LCIF had 8 causes. So again, this past year they combined those so that they match. You can see there how many children were served through Lions Quest, how many cataract surgeries were performed. Measles are pretty much, I guess, I don't want to say non-existent, but not very.
Not since the idiots who have decided not to vaccinate people.
Yeah, but around the world, it's still an epidemic. So we're highly involved in vaccination and again, in even river blindness, things like that. Leadership. Here we get back into that training thing again. You can see all the different areas of training that's available from Lions International. The Emerging Lions Institute, Regional Lions Institute, and Advanced Lions Institute are all those that you would go to a remote location and spend a weekend doing. Also, faculty development institutes. Those are for people that want to become trainers within the Lions organization. And that is, I think that's a 4-day institute, if I remember correctly. District governors-elect seminars. I had to go through this. Marty went through it back probably last May, I guess, May or June. And mine were done by Zoom, again, because of COVID and because of being all these people coming in from other countries. Marty's was actually in person out at the headquarters building in Oak Brook. The multiple district leadership development, the multiple district 14, Pennsylvania, will have seminars. They have one in the spring, one in the fall. One is held, and they're held 2 places. On a Saturday, that seminar will be held in Harrisburg, and then on Sunday, that seminar will be held somewhere out towards Western Pennsylvania. Again, these are all free. It's just a matter of you investing your time to be involved. Lions Learning Center, again, is online learning through lions.org. The Lions University is also online at lions.org. Kerry McKnight has his doctorate from Lions University. He was the very first Lion from Pennsylvania to receive his doctorate. And he is still quite proud of that. I know Marty attended university. I think he's going to apply for his doctorate. Is that this year, Marty? Okay. I have
Yes,
graduated with.
yes, I hope to, yes.
Okay, good. I have my master's and started working on my doctorate right before my district governor year, but I kind of put that on hold until the crazy district governor year went away. And I believe, Doug, you've been working on the university as well, haven't you?
No, I haven't started yet.
Oh, okay. I knew you had talked about it. Coming up in September, I think it is the USA Canada Forum, which is one of the absolute best places to go get training. This year it's held in Louisville, Kentucky. So again, it's a weekend long thing, but there'll be probably 80 or 90 different seminars to pick from over the course of that weekend. And there are meals that are all provided. When you pay your registration for the hotel and registration for the forum, all the meals are provided for that weekend. It's a great, great time. Membership development. Recruiting new members in your club really is an important thing. The more hands you have, the more service you can do, the faster you can get it done. We're always in the need to identify new service areas, and a lot of times new members will bring new and fresh ideas to the club. There's, as you can see there are 6 different membership areas. You have family membership, so husband and wives, brothers and sisters. And Doug is very, very familiar with family membership because his whole family are Lions.
Mm.
You have student memberships, Leos to Lion, which is when the Leos graduate from high school, they can convert over to a Lion membership, really at a reduced cost. There's usually a day once a year. It's called Lions Worldwide Induction Day, when they like to bring on as many Lions as they can. We have Leo clubs, which are the high school clubs. We have club branches. That's where we have one club branch currently in 14C, working on several more. The one we have is at a care facility where the people can't really go out at night or don't want to go out at night anymore, but still want to be involved in service projects. So they created a branch club, and that's just done by having a club sponsor those. You only need 5 members to create a branch club. In addition to forming new clubs, the extension that Doug talked about a little bit is to create clubs in underserved areas. It can be a traditional club. It can be a campus club on a college campus, a specialty club, if it's a bunch of attorneys or a bunch of golfers or motorcyclists. Any type of specialty club can be created. And of course, the branch clubs as well. Lions Communications International will communicate with you through various ways. You'll get the Lions magazine. You will get email messages. This year, Dr. Patty Hill, I believe, sent out monthly email messages to every single Lion in the world. So that was the first time I remember that happening. If it happened in the past, I just assumed, I guess, that it was I was getting an email from international president, but she specifically stated that she was doing individual emails to every Lion. You have lionsclubs.org for the website. A ton of information on there. There you can shop for all sorts of goodies in the store, but it's that website is just amazing. It's got so much stuff crammed in it that you could spend a lifetime, I think, trying to go through and find everything. Of course, social networking, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This training tonight, I believe, will be posted on YouTube, and you can also go to our district web page. And there's a section in there on training. You can see other training that the district has put on over the last several years. So, welcome everyone to Lions Club. I am the past, immediate past district governor, Keith Schoaf, and Doug is the first, even though he mentioned his title as being second vice district governor. He is currently the first vice district governor elect, which means all the offices will be changing July 1, and he will become the first vice district governor at that time. And Marty becomes the immediate past district governor. It takes over for me. Do we have any questions?
I'm going to turn this light off. Is that okay?
Yep.
Any questions, anybody? About anything?
Bet.
No, Michael's good. I appreciate your time. It was very informative and helpful. I'm excited to be a new member here at New Freedom.
We're glad to have you. As a closing remark for me, I would like you to all take the kindness challenge. Give someone a piece of your heart, not a piece of your mind. See someone without a smile, give them one of yours. Make saying thank you a daily habit. You never know what light you might spark in someone else just through your kindness and your example. So again, thank you for joining us this evening. Really enjoyed this. Always enjoy getting to talk to new Lions. If there's anything that Lion Doug or I can help you with, our contact information is there. So please feel free to contact us anytime with anything.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
indeed.
you all.
Thank you very much.
This evening.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody. Thank you all. Thanks, Doug, Keith. Good job. I was
Thanks.
quiet like I promised. So, okay. Thank you all for all you do. Appreciate it.
All right.
And again,
Good
if any
evening.
of us can help you in any way, please contact us.
Okay. Thank you much.
If we don't know the answer, we'll find one for you.
Absolutely. Have a great evening. Thank you.
You too.
Have a good night.
Good night.